Welcome. My name is Austin and I have a bike. Let's go for a ride. So in the last video that I recorded about lubricating the bottom bracket, the mistake I've made is the fact that I didn't have a cover right here for the self-extracting mechanism. So self-extracting cap. So what I end up doing is I went to my local bike shop and I got a self-extracting cap, which is right here. And actually it's over here. And because I have the dub bottom bracket and a dub crankset, I had to get one that matches the crankset and bottom bracket. So this is the dub extracting cap that needs to go on there, and I have to install this. Now, a tool that I am using to install this is Park Tool SPA-2. In my honest opinion, you don't even need this. If you have snap ring pliers lying around your garage or anything like that, you can probably use those instead without having to rush to your local bike shop to try to purchase this, because this is for bike mechanics. So I'm not a bike mechanic, but I'm venturing into the world of cycling. So I went ahead and got this tool. My local bike shop actually hooked me up because they didn't have one in stock, so they sold me the one that the mechanic was using for pennies. So anyway, sometimes you got cool bike shops. So if you are new to cycling like me, I recommend that you support your local bike shops because they will take care of you the more you support them. It's just something to think about. Getting onto the bike and putting the cap on, let's go ahead and do it so that I can take the crankset off so I can get to the bottom bracket. Let's do it. See if I can get it started by hand first. Just from my mechanical background, I've always been taught to try to start threads by hand before you try to use any tools. That way you know that you're not going to strip it. And, if you can. So, using your best judgment, assuming that you're a competent being and being able to do that, using your best judgment is always helpful. And I'm not having the easiest time putting this on. I'm not having the easiest time getting it started. Am I going the wrong way? All right. Yeah, the arrow is pointing. The arrow is pointing to the right, so I'm assuming that's the direction I need to go. I'm gonna just go the opposite way just to see. What in the... So, I'm not sure why that arrow is pointing that way. Maybe it's for the bolt inside, but the opposite way was the right way to put it on. You just take this tool, opposing holes. Yeah, choose some opposing holes and I'm no bike mechanic, but I tell you like this. This tool made that job easy. This tool made that easy. Felt real easy to do. Just cranked it snug. You don't gotta kill it, but got it on there. Now, let me go ahead and get my 8mm. Take the chain off and try to get this off the crankset. So let's do that. So I'm getting my 8mm socket and ratchet because I'm way more comfortable using sockets and ratchets than I am the T-handle Allen. So this is what I'm gonna do. Stick that in there, because I'm way more comfortable doing it this way. Put my body against the pedal. All right, that way it don't hurt my hand or arm or something like that. All right. All right. Now I'm getting that friction from the self-extracting cap. All right. That feels a whole lot better. Now I can grab my T-handle. Ignore that. I'm just dropping tools in the garage. Okay. Got a little rubber mallet. All right. Push that rubber mallet through. This is the spindle, which is one side of the crankset. The other side, that got the chain ring on it. That's the other side. The next thing you're gonna need is this little tool right here for the dub. This is Part Tool BBT 79.3. So this way is tight, so I gotta go that way to loosen it. I happen to see it. Yeah. Woo! Almost fell on my butt. Okay. All right. That's one side. All right. Now let me get the other side. So this is a threaded bottom bracket, okay? You got a long side like this, you got a short side like that, all right? They both thread into the frame on each side, and they come together like that, like so. Now, depending on the spacing that you have on your bike, you may need an extra space on the outside. But anyway, let's get this thing clean, because if you look at it, this thing's pretty dirty, which is probably why I'm getting noises. Because that's inside. That's inside of the frame where that sits. And it's got, some crud on it. So I'm going to clean that off. And I'm going to re-grease it and re-seal it. And, of course, clean the frame side. So let me do that. Now the bottom bracket is clean. Both ends. I have a few different greases, but I want to experiment for science. I want to try this Moly EP grease that I got in the garage on the bottom bracket, because this stuff is really good with other things in a garage, other than bikes. So I want to try it. I just want to see if it does a great job over time. This grease here. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and grease the threads, okay? And also a little dab of grease in the threads in the frame. Same here. But what I want to do is take that apart, put some grease on the O-ring there before I stick it back in. Same thing here, grease there on the O-ring there. And that way when I put it in and these go together, everything is greased. So that's what I'm gonna do. And then we're going to install it back together. All right, let's go. Let's go ahead and install it back, cleaned and lubricated. This is for the right side. So I got to turn this counterclockwise. The other end, the left side. Yeah. And this one, you turn clockwise. Getting my bottom bracket tool for the threaded bottom bracket. And the most important piece, my part tool, torque wrench. This is the, what is it, TW-6.2. I was one of those people who did not want to get name brand torque wrench. And I would do conversions and stuff like that. But honestly, spend the money. Spend the money. That's what I can say about it. Spend the money on the torque wrench because it makes everything easier in torquing. So torque it counterclockwise, 54 Newton meters. It's printed on the actual bottom bracket. He's gonna give it a nice. I like to do two little clicks for good measure. Now, this one's clockwise, so I gotta flip the switch. All right. Let me stabilize myself on the bike a little bit. Oh yeah. There you have it. So, as I've stated before, I am not an expert. I am just starting this journey of cycling, mountain biking. I got my road bike up here. I'll talk about that in other videos as well. But this is one of my maintenance videos that I am sharing for all the beginners out there. I'm a beginner and I'm sharing my experience with you. That we as beginners can do this. I just showed you that lubricating your bottom bracket, your threaded bottom bracket, is pretty easy to do as long as you got the right tools and just the knowledge of just using the tools correctly. Now, I use my moly grease rather than assembly grease that, you know, they probably recommend. But hey, it's my bike. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the moly grease on there and see how it goes, because that moly grease is some good stuff. So why not at least try it, you know, see if the bike likes it, you know, and see if it keeps the creaking away for a longer period of time. So the reason you would want to do this, because you saw how dirty that my bottom bracket got, but you will really notice because you will hear the bottom bracket creaking under load. So if you're pedaling under a heavy load, you'll hear it creaking. And this is information that I received from my brother is a bike mechanic. So that's the end of this video. So if you like this video, make sure you like it. Consider subscribing to this small channel. Hope to see it grow. And I hope to catch you in my next video.